From Plant Lab in Austin, Texas, this is Stacker News Live.
It's too late.
It's too late.
We started.
Are we already live?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name's Car, and I'm excited for this weekend.
My name's
Keyan.
Jake.
And this is Keyan, also known as Jake. That's his real name. Turns out we've been rug pulled.
That's right, guys. I'm not actually Persian. I'm just a white
not even
guy.
Keyan. It's a Nim this whole time. Wow, dude, that was your name for real, Jake. You got me.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool if I somehow pretended to be this hairy. And
I mean, I've seen old photos of you. I would not be shocked.
Oh wow! Do you think I look that much
I
different?
look pretty much the same. Just gained weight. That's about it.
Oh, but that's mostly my move.
But you look a lot different.
I mean, I was a lot skinnier. I wasn't even chubby. I was very lean in the past. That's the main. You could see my bone structure. Now you could see my fat structure.
Living a double life, Keyan.
That's right. How was your week, Car?
It was a good week. It's a good week. Plub Lab making moves. So
is it? Where'd you guys move?
We haven't moved yet, but we're thinking about moving here in a couple of weeks. So we're going to do a Halloween party to celebrate, and then
what are you going to be?
We're going to get packing. Move to a new location.
Oh, we already talked about that last week. I think you're going to be. You said you're going to be Edward Scissorhands. I'm waiting.
Oh yeah. That's what I can do this weekend. Get some costume stuff ready. A lot of people are bullish, dude. A lot of people are bullish on the Halloween costume party.
I'm bullish on it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the amazing Halloween store here on Congress closed last year. Unfortunately,
yeah.
I forget what it was called.
How are you gonna?
It had a wacky name, super amazing. But that's what I was planning on doing, was getting my Willy Wonka costume at that location.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna
I think I'm gonna go eBay because I could probably find in
time though, by Friday.
I hope so. I might be able to get it rush delivered or something.
I think you might just better off just like you said, go to that costume theater place you were saying.
No, they don't do it at UT. That was in the California University that was near me when I was in California. They did it, but UT doesn't do it. I already looked.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Let me know if you find a spot. I would love to take a look.
There's no spots. There's no spots in Austin.
I might just go with the
Negan
Negan costume because if I can't find anything for the Edward Scissorhands.
Negan is maybe the lamest costume because it's just a guy who's an asshole. You don't need a costume. I mean, it's basically.
How about we go as each other? Where I'd be you. What if I just dress up as you?
That's what me and my wife did.
Should I just do that? Should I just? Because next week we got to film Stacker News Live in our costumes. We did last year. Should I just be you then? Would you be offended?
You couldn't. I mean, that's not much of a costume.
Just have a hat and I'd get some hair that'd stick out.
Yeah,
and I'd wear the same thing with the little Nick Carter bolo, thing that he loved.
Oh yeah, I don't think that would work. I mean, I don't think that's that effective of a costume, unfortunately, because it's not different enough. But I would be Edward Scissorhands. You should get a full latex suit, get sharp scissory hands.
That would be fun to make the sharp.
Do white face.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not the racist way.
Come on.
To do that. Yeah.
Let's switch gears. Stacker News Live is a show where you can come check out the top 5 stories of the week on Stacker News every week. We cover the top 5 only. And then Keyan, today, he threw all these extra stories on. So it's going to be a longer episode.
It was a crazy week. We had a lot of great stuff.
Yeah. But typically we cover the top 5 every week that the stackers have voted for. If you haven't checked out Stacker News, definitely check it out, stacker.news. And let's jump into it. The first top story of the week is how to live a nomad life with Bitcoin. This is October 19th Bitcoin post from Natalia. 59 comments, 20K sats, baby. What is this, Keyan? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't. So this is pretty cool. Natalia is apparently a nomad. She lays out in here that she was more nomadic before. But I hadn't really considered that being a nomad might make it extra difficult to live on Bitcoin exclusively. And apparently it is, because you can't enter. The people I know who live on a Bitcoin standard are regularly doing fiat Bitcoin trades with their friends. And, if you're traveling a lot, you might not have found the Bitcoin community yet where you can do that. And, where's your node running if you're traveling a lot? Frequently, these nomads, the nomads that I know, they they don't have a node. And so how does all of that work? So Natalia lays it out here and kind of explains how she's made it function for her, and a variety of kind of her approaches to doing things, like the way she can't do, if she can't do peer-to-peer trades in person, she's using, she says she prefers hodl, even though she would prefer to use something like RoboSats, but RoboSats doesn't have enough offers and doesn't have enough currency pairs to really suit her needs, because, she's traveling a lot. The currency's probably changed quite a bit. And a lot more stuff like that. Like, she tries to pay, if she can find a place that she can pay in Bitcoin, she tries to orange pill people, just general things that she's changed about her lifestyle that, one way to more effectively live on a Bitcoin standard is to spend less money. So you have less orange pilling to do. You have less people to convince to begin accepting Bitcoin. And you can focus on the few key people and put more effort into orange pilling them. And that's like another method that she ends up using. Additionally, she shares some of her posts and some of the way, like shared a post a while ago about a digital course that she made
Cool.
on like writing that she accepted Bitcoin and fiat for.
What a great post.
Yeah, but overall, it kind of sums up the whole game of traveling and trying to live on a Bitcoin standard and how you might do that.
Yeah, she shared it at the bottom. She said the easiest place to test the fun is Stacker News, the art of using Stacker News. And then she shows some of the other stuff that she's done.
Yeah.
We got Kryto Sensei had the top comment. He said, I found this most enlightening. I don't think Bitwage will expand to Asia anytime soon, so it seems unlikely that I can receive my pay in Bitcoin, though I shouldn't let that defeat me. Your post on getting paid for your content with Bitcoin intrigued me. It reminded me of the fact that when there's a will, there's a way. Natalia said, then you need to figure out how to make it happen. And then she said, yes, definitely. Big yes. Will, there's a way kind of thing. So we also got Nico Sla said, nice write, saved as a roadmap. This is going to sound bad because taxation is theft. It's immoral, but how you handle that. We were talking about the big brother with the ability to use the force. Are you already reached the point where you don't care and hope for the best? And then she chimes in and says, I'm not sure if this answer helps, but being a nomad, I'm flexible and independent and I vote with my feet. What do you think about that, Keyan?
Well, I mean, it's consistent. Natalia shares that she was kind of more of a flag theory advocate before she became nomadic. But I guess she became unsatisfied with it because it was still too limiting. It still gave her not as much opportunity to vote with her feet. It maybe gave her more places to go with her feet if she wanted to, but it sounds like she prefers being a complete free agent traveling wise. So yeah. I think it sounds good. I mean, I think we'll all end up living that way probably eventually. There was Bit Devs last night. I was talking to a guy and he's talking about, well, what if Texas secedes, and are you going to go to war with Texas? And I was like, why? Maybe I agree with Texas's values, but I don't want to die for a piece of land. So why don't I just go somewhere that maybe has Texas's values or takes Texas's values with me somewhere where I don't have to die.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we have a couple friends that are nomadic and live that kind of lifestyle. I always find them really interesting, and it's cool that she was able to kind of share all this and let the stackers ask her questions. So that's cool.
Yeah.
The next top story is orange pilling your lefty friends. This is a Prism post from Siggy47, October 19th. Bitcoin, 73 comments, 8,307 sats. What is this?
Well, this is Siggy. He gave the proceeds of this post to Anita Posh, who runs Bitcoin for Fairness. It's this Bitcoin education initiative in Africa. This post is about Siggy unintentionally orange pilling some of his lefty friends. Siggy's, a libertarian kind of political persuasion, and he, still has friends that maybe aren't that way. And he says he kind of unintentionally did it by mentioning when they were talking about charitable causes, and then he started talking about Anita and his sat raiser, and then he started to go recite some of the stuff, some of Alex Gladstein's work on French colonialism and fiat and the way poor nations are getting taken advantage of by wealthier nations. And it left an impression with his friend. And so he wrote about that experience. I think I had asked a while ago, maybe 6 months or more ago, about how people discuss Bitcoin with people of different political persuasions.
Yeah. Really interesting post. We have Haths in the top comment. He said, this entire thread will push away anyone that is politically left leaning. I know that because I am that person. We aren't aliens from another planet. We aren't unapproachable. We aren't stupid people. We are just people. I, for one, have not been left leaning my whole life and still have many conservative viewpoints. However, in the USA, the GOP is a clown show who cannot govern. This isn't an opinion. It is a fact. Just look at the House. He goes on to talk about Bitcoin is money and all that stuff. At the end, he says Bitcoin is for everyone. F off.
Apparently he's upset that he the lefty label. I don't even feel like Siggy was that dismissive. Oh, I guess he called lefty commie pinko. Well, I don't know what pinko means. Do you?
I don't follow politics, to be honest. I stay in my lane.
I think pinko might mean something.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. Pinko is left leaning. It's derogatory. Okay, so maybe he had grounds to be upset.
Two derogatory remarks from Keyan today. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but I think it's Bitcoin
is for everybody.
Bitcoin is for everyone, but the fact is, like, this guy identifies as left leaning, and I don't feel like Siggy was that, as demeaning as this guy was in return. So
yeah, I would say check out the comment stackers. There's a lot of stuff there. You can definitely chime in and either agree with him or disagree. There's some good stuff in there. I, for one, love the conversation.
Yeah.
You got Brunswick at the bottom. He says, I believe I have decoded the lefty's mind. A few days ago, I realized why they seem impenetrable when you present them with facts, figures, and incentives. Here's my hypothesis. The leftists believe in ideologically. This is obvious. But what is ideology? And then he goes on to explain. Interesting.
Yeah. So maybe Haas read some of the responses in the
check out Brunswick comment. Brunswick comment. I don't know. I think I ate this lemon meringue pie thing and I'm just having trouble with my words today.
Oh,
all this lemony stuff.
Wow. I didn't know lemon meringue pies did that.
Yeah, dude, it was good. Did you?
I saw it out there. It looked delicious.
Topher brought it in.
Very fancy.
We got the next top stories. You are not bullish enough on PayJoin fire prism posts. This is from David W. October 16th. Bitcoin, 18 comments, 7,986 cents. Can I get a ooh doggy?
Maybe from someone else. I'm not gonna give you a woo doggy today, Car. Just telling you that. This is a really cool post. PayJoin's. I don't know. We probably had a number of PayJoin stories become top posts over the last year, and it's grown quite a bit. I remember the first time you and I met in Miami. You didn't at PlebFi. I believe Dan Gould spoke on PayJoins there, and that's the first time I was introduced to PayJoins.
Cool.
But PayJoins are. It's one of those things that I feel like it's really powerful, but it's very simple, but extremely powerful. And so it's really easy for people to overlook because we associate privacy enhancing tools on Bitcoin as being, kind of complicated and hard to use. Something like Whirlpool or other mixing services, CoinJoin services. But PayJoin is like, it's kind of just simple and does effectively the same thing. And in many ways is better, in addition to like not costing you money, but saving you money. If you're not familiar with PayJoins, you're basically coordinating with the receiver when you pay them so that it breaks like common surveillance heuristics on the payment that you're making to them. And that's basically it. You just do a little coordination and boom, both of you have better privacy. The receiver is potentially save fees because through that coordination, they can consolidate their UTXOs if they're interested in doing that. And we're seeing it pop up in more and more wallets. I think that demo there showed Bitcoin Pay Server supports PayJoin. So we can expect to see more of that, and it'd be amazing. I think we can expect to see quite a bit.
Yeah, it looks
PayJoin
like there's
support.
a PayJoinDevKit.org if you want more information. They got Rust. Yeah, looks like there's an API reference too.
Yeah, it's I think we'll especially with the PayJoin Dev Kit, I think we'll begin seeing quite a bit more usage of it. I don't know how to communicate it better because the trouble is, again, it's like really simple, but it presents as if it were as like complicated as like a coin join when it isn't. So
yeah, all the information's there for you, stackers. Go check it out. We got BitGold on the top comment.
BitGold is like the main guy behind PayJoin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He says, nice surprise to see this gospel on the top of Stacker News this morning. Gospel it is. I will agree. I got Onions right afterwards. Says, can someone explain it like I'm 5? Why is PayJoin, how it works? I think Keyan, you just did that. So.
Yeah. There we go.
Pretty cool.
Someone else.
Tell me how bullish you are. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess if you're not bullish enough, he'll feed you to sharks. So be bullish, guys, on PayJoin.
Be bullish on PayJoins. I got the next top Stacker News post of the week. This Starlink, the end of the free internet or new birth, ? This is from David W., October 18th, tech post. Wow, tech post. 41 comments, 20,000 sats. Woo, what is this?
Yeah. So David W. also wrote the Starlink post, or not the Starlink, the PayJoin post. I think he also wrote another like top 10 posts.
Are these all the PayJoins across the world?
Post this week. No, this is Starlink. So this is like, I think what the eventual layout of Starlink will be if this isn't already what it's like. But this post goes into detail about, where Starlink is in terms of progress, where its competitors are, what you can expect from it in terms of surveillance relative to other internet communication networks.
Is there that many out there? Or is this just like
I mean, it's just a picture. I don't know. So I don't think that's actually like an actual picture of the United States.
It's a lot of power for Elon.
Yeah. So that's basically what he addresses that in here. Like, what does this mean that Elon is going to be basically, own a new internet? And he comes to the conclusion that he believes that in the next 5 years, this will be the main communication network, that we're using for the internet, and giving Elon all that power, and in addition to Elon having quite a relationship with governments in some cases.
So maybe they tear down the internet, break all the, what are the ones they called? At the end of the continents were they like trunk lines? What are they? They go into the ocean?
Those, what do they call them? Intercontinental, communication
Maybe he
cables.
cuts all those off at once.
I don't think he could do that.
They roll out the CBDC, then they launch the Starlink network. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a plot to a Tom Cruise movie. Once he hits 70, that's Mission Impossible 100.
Mission Impossible 17 Starlink.
Yeah.
Crazy to think, though.
Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, he details like some of the security benefits of using Starlink.
Who was this again?
What?
David W. Wow.
Yeah. He also wrote a book review that was in the top.
We got to do it. We got to do it. Zap him. Zap him. Got to zap him. Dude, that's crazy. They did all this research.
Yeah. I mean, he loves writing original content. But this is like the current internet.
Oh, these are the
cables.
These are the cables.
Yeah, these are
that's not a lot of cables to cut.
Optic fiber.
I mean, think about
fiber
it. Look, you just really need to cut these right here. Just cut all these. These right there. I think you can really roll out the CBDC. What do you think?
Okay. I mean, I don't understand the connection directly, but
did you not see the Christina Lagarde or the?
I did, but she didn't. Did she mention Starlink?
I don't know. Do we have any connection with Elon and her?
No, okay. Probably not.
Probably not.
That's what I
think
guess.
The best we could hope for is we get like a mission to Mars at this point. And, kind of like Gattaca, where you leave this world behind, leave it to the CBDCers? What do you think?
I don't know. Sounds kind of off topic, but maybe we'll go to Mars. I like Earth quite a bit.
Wow, look, this is a AI generated eye. That's cool.
Yeah,
dude, amazing. I can't wait to check this out. I'm gonna bookmark it because I like reading this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you'd like it a lot. I think it covers like all dimensions. I feel like of Starlink and. Apparently, like the only competitor I think is something from Amazon, and it's like it has like 10% of the number of satellites in.
Well, I think there's a couple because the only reason I know is they used to do IT, so like there's a couple like business satellite. It's really terrible internet though, but there are a couple here in Central Texas.
Oh right, there's a guy who chimed into the comments. I got tagged in that thread.
It's funny because we could never do backups because like the internet was so expensive, Keyan, so we couldn't do backups on their infrastructure. So yeah, we just didn't run backups. It was all local. They didn't have cloud backups. So it sucks.
Dangerous. Sounds dangerous. Yeah. In the comments, there was a founder and CTO of Suborbital Systems. So he's trying to build a competitor to Starlink. They use balloons, which was a solution that Google's like moonshot thing was doing. I feel like 20 years, maybe not 20 years, maybe 10 years.
How would they stay up there though? You should do an AMA. Yeah, I guess David already said that. You should do an AMA. Yeah, I have a ton of questions about balloons.
Yeah, I think they just stay
up there the whole time.
I think so. I think you fill them with gas, or they have.
What happens when they come down though? Like when they run out of gas?
The same thing that happens to anything that's up in the upper atmosphere that comes down. I guess it
just kills the internet.
It crashes. They don't ever come down. I think the idea is that those stay up there for a long time. You could probably get solar power that somehow heats air in the balloon, keeps it afloat.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that might be how it works. We don't know, but he's in Texas, and I think he says in here that he's planning to do.
Is he in Texas? Come to Pleb Lab.
Do stuff with lightning. And
yeah, if you're building this, come to Pleb Lab. I would love to ask you more questions.
Yeah, I don't know what part of Texas he's in, but
it's probably close enough for Pleb Lab. Cool. I can't wait to check out this post. The next top story is BitVM Online. Play with Tapley circuits by Super Testnet. This is a Prism post from Nout. 10 comments, 14.3K sats. Yeah. What is this, Keyan?
Yeah, we're missing Super Testnet again to give us a demo and a walkthrough and an explainer. But Super shipped his BitVM example thing that he had said he was working on when the BitVM paper came out. But this allows you to create one of three, or you can create all of them if you want. But one of three BitVM programs. It appears to be, I went through the process of doing this earlier, but you can do, you can check for zeros. You can do addition. I believe you might also be able to do division. It kind of shows you, like all the interaction that is necessary in a BitVM.
So it's a proof of concept.
It's just like a proof of concept. Like, look, this actually works. You can do this. He doesn't actually flesh out yet the full. It's not like a full example. He admits there are several kind of problems with it.
Finish. Bitcoin is a calculator now. I love it. I love that super.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, and I was surprised that some of the files weren't as large.
Maybe I could just use Bitcoin as a calculator, replace my calculator app. Maybe.
Yeah, it's an expensive calculator, but if you want to live on a Bitcoin standard, maybe that's what you got to do.
Quit using these fiat calculators.
Don't use a fiat calculator.
You're not using a Bitcoin calculator. You're short Bitcoin.
If you're not paying to add numbers.
You're not bullish enough. You're not
Bitcoiner.
using. You're not bullish enough. You're not using.
Dude,
Bitcoin
this
calculator.
is like maybe BitVM will be your Bitcoiner hardware. They'll build a whole computer that just runs on Bitcoin's blockchain.
That get me excited.
And so you'll just have like
you never know.
You'll have just like a very paper thin device that's just.
You never know. It's right timing for everything. You saw the Sats link came out too, or not came out. It's pre-order. This is coming out. I mean, I'm just saying it was inevitable. Cool. This is really cool.
Yeah, it's
really cool.
It's neat. We talked a little bit about BitVM last night at BitDevs. We were all wishing Super was there to help us all understand it, but people are excited and also confused about it, and also skeptical of it at the same time.
Yeah. Cool. That's all the top 5 stories of the week here on Stacker News Live. We're going to get into Keyan's top stories first. This is a large lightning vulnerability concern. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, so this has been kind of circulating a lot. I mean, it's been a hot topic pretty much all week. I feel like since Anton Riard shared this initially, it's been a back and forth. My inbox has been flooded with mailing list links, but he basically he found an attack vector on Lightning. And it involves if you're like a routing node, and the attacker sits on either side of your routing node, they can mess with your ability to contest earlier commitment transactions. So you can basically if you're this attacker, you sit on either side of this routing node, you can submit a transaction to the mempool about your Lightning channel with the routing node that says you have more money than you do. And then they can prevent you from contesting that commitment transaction that you're submitting. That's basically cheating you. And so this is, so he reported this apparently a while ago, and there had been mitigations introduced in most Lightning implementations because pretty much all of them suffered from this vulnerability to some extent. There's a lot of back and forth about how severe this is, how likely we're to actually see this in practice. But the conclusion of this specific entry in the mailing list was that this isn't really fixable. There is no perfect solution to this that solves it, that will solve it completely. Like he concludes, and I'm not sure other people in the Lightning community agree. There's a lot of back and forth in the comments about this, including from Peter Todd, that he concludes that this is a vulnerability that can't be fixed without a soft fork. And so we need to be nothing we could do. This is like a fundamental bug that's like unfixable in Lightning.
We got Zekus top comment. Said, very interesting. I get the dilemma. Can easily convince people who support ossification like Jimmy Song and Nerd to Ninja or CC Nerd to Ninja for valid reasons about soft forks, but explaining in detail why we need a soft fork to fix vulnerability effectively discloses a vulnerability before it's fixed. You got Peter Todd jumping in. He says specifically too, but explaining in detail why we need a soft fork. He says, this is one reason why we have layered systems. If Lightning devs have in fact screwed up, better that Bitcoin continues operating while Lightning figures out how to fix things with full disclosure and many competent people understanding the issue. Right now, Antoine, is it Anton? Anton?
Antony, I don't know. It's French.
Hasn't even published an easy to read explanation of what the problem actually is. He seems to have a decent number of people involved in Lightning development that there is an issue, but he hasn't convinced many people who aren't intimately involved with LNBTC development, nor is his we're all doomed view on it shared widely anywhere. Anyway, there's no way this issue actually wrecks all of Lightning. You can do routing just fine through semi-trusted node relationships. It's not as decentralized as we want, but even in the worst case, a large proportion of usage of Lightning will work fine. What do you think about that, Keyan?
Yeah, I mean, he raises an interesting point. So the big thing is, you're most vulnerable to this attack if you allow anyone to connect to your node and open channels to your node. And so if you're only opening channels up with known LSPs or trustworthy nodes, you won't suffer from this problem. But if your node is such that you allow, the attacker is able to create channels on either side of you, then you're vulnerable to this. And so, one way to prevent yourself from being vulnerable to this is to only allow channels to be open to your node from trustworthy nodes, or open them yourself, or only open the channels yourself to people you trust.
Yeah, great pick, Keyan. The next pick you have is we aim to make the greatest Bitcoin 101 video ever made. Instead, we made What is this?
I'm so surprised you didn't see this. You
I was so busy this week.
Just so in your lane.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, this is a production from Spiral. I think in Block. In general, it might even be like a totally separate thing, but I'm pretty sure Block is involved somehow. But they're trying to do a little more, literally give Bitcoin a face, a fun, furry, friendly face, and make it more approachable and understandable, make it fun to learn about. This is a video of them doing it. It's about 10 minutes long. They go, it has like a nice story arc for the character.
We need more of this in Bitcoin. Like, there's not enough fun in Bitcoin. It's all doom and gloom. And when I came in, it was all doom and gloom. You're gonna die. You're gonna eat Z-bugs.
Still that way. Yeah.
It's still that way.
They're gonna get you.
Like, I was just acting that way a while ago. So this is why we need more fun in Bitcoin. Like, understand the goal, but like, this is good stuff, man.
It's great. They're planning on doing a lot more of it too. I think
they should.
I think Steve and Bitcoin here was on What Bitcoin Did recently to discuss the release of the video and their plans.
I mean, because we at Pleb Lab, we're always doing stuff that's fun, dude. Like, that's like the first thing we try to do is like, let's just have fun. And for me, it's like, this keeps us going, man. Keeps you going. It keeps everything going. Yeah, it's cool. I love the drawing on this. Look at that. That's so cool.
Yeah, they have a whole icon set that you can import into Signal.
This is where all the money should be spent.
I agree.
Spend more money on this.
Smart guy. I mean, smart people over at Block. They're iterating on how to teach people.
Oh, look! So need one of these puppet suits for Pleb Labs.
I would wear this if I had one of these.
Oh, that was from you. I thought that was from a stacker.
Oh yeah, I got some sats.
Damn it, I gave my sats to Keyan. Nah, good post. Your next pick was Broken Money Book Club Part 2. What is this from Elvis?
Yeah, I was just we talked about the Broken Money Part 1 book club. Elvis Mercury continues.
Oh, is that why you have Lynn Alden's book in your office?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How's this going?
It's a really good book. Yeah. I highly recommend it. I would actually recommend it over the Bitcoin Standard, actually.
Whoa. Yeah. Wow. Take it easy.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I mean,
interesting.
I feel like she's doing a fuller treatment of money. Wow. And not like trying
That's really high marks you're giving for this book.
Yeah. It's
so better than the Bitcoin Standard.
I actually haven't read the Bitcoin Standard.
We have it in the library.
Yeah, but I would.
It's pretty basically just the history of money for like the first 17 chapters or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think she's doing something similar. I think she's coming at it from a slightly different angle, from more of like a technology perspective than an economics perspective.
Oh, I'll check it out.
Yeah. I actually find it very compelling, and it's consistent with the way I think about money. So I like it a lot. But anyway, Elvis Mercury has continued to do the book club. They're putting in a lot of effort to creating prompts, getting people to discuss the book and learn more about the book and challenging their points of view on the book. And I'm really enjoying it. I've been participating a lot. And I think we still have 5 more parts left. So, and you could pick up in the middle of the book if you want to and join along.
Does Lynn Alden know that you guys are doing this or no?
I don't know, but
no one shared it like on Nostr or anything.
I'm not so sure. She might. I mean, Elvis Mercury might be Lynn for all we know, but Lynn shared a link to Stacker News on an unrelated post, like about a week after the first part of the book club. So she might.
Oh, cool.
So someone might have brought her attention to the book club.
Cool, man. Now I want to check it out. I didn't know you had high marks like that. That's kind of high marks, dude.
High marks
as far as like better than the Bitcoin Standard. But then again, you haven't read the Bitcoin Standard, so
yeah, maybe I have no idea. I'm just assuming the book is so good. I would assume that no book could be better.
Cool. And then
on this topic.
Yeah. And then your next story that you picked was optimal. Although this is meta, optimal zapping on Stacker News.
So this is the meta section where we kind of go into Stacker News related stuff. We try to go over this faster, but Undisciplined shared that they're realizing that they make more money by zapping more, and that they weren't really appreciating that aspect. So they're raising their tip, and they're kind of playing with like what the optimal tipping zone is for them. And a lot of stackers
or what?
Huh?
For just individual stackers?
No, for stacking sats on Stacker News. So the more you zap, the higher amounts you zap, the more you actually earn.
I always like if I read something and it's good, I give at least 21 or 100. If it's good, I give 100.
Yeah,
great. And then if I comment, then that's probably the highest signal I would say, at least for me personally. Like I won't comment on everything, but I will zap a lot of things. But if I comment on it, that's I guess for the stackers, for me, that's the, I don't know, higher signal for me.
Yeah, that's another way to give value to the
I won't
poster.
comment on anything.
Yeah, most people don't. Most people just like to lurk.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as zapping, I think, this is an undiscovered thing for most people. I mean, we say it in the FAQ, but we maybe don't communicate it terribly well that, the more you zap,
he has a minimum zap of 100. Wow. Well, I raise you at 100. I raise you to 500, Ben. Boom.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. I love Ben Carmen. Cool.
Yeah, that's one of the metas. And then we have another meta.
Next meta is the introducing Stacker News value for value to my Bitcoiner colleague at Cointelegraph.
Yeah, Joe Nakamoto, who is
I love Joe.
Is a writer at Cointelegraph and Stacker.
Zap him.
Spends a lot of time orange pilling in
100,000
other countries and figuring out what's going on in other countries. Anyway, he is value for value pilling. One of his coworkers who recently wrote an article about the Bitcoin Amsterdam conference and specifically consensus changes to Bitcoin and covers some of that there. But I think that was a fun post. So I wanted to make sure that got some.
Oh, he's shared his Twitter too. Man, the stackers love Joe. Look at this, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's producing great Bitcoin content. He wrote that really great. He's
the one to El Salvador, right?
Yeah,
I remember that one. That was a good one. One of my favorites this year. Cool. I'm just going to cover my top stories of the week, stackers. I always go for the fringe.
Yeah, you gave me a bunch of crap about me wanting to cover mine, but let's do yours now. Let's
these are more. This is more about what this is what the stackers come for. They want to know
your top.
They want to know what cars.
Maybe we should just put that at the front. Maybe we should just make that podcast.
No. This is what I wanted to share. I mean, a lot about this, but we've been kind of following it on Stacker News since the life of this pod. Taproot assets on mainnet, a new era for Bitcoin and beyond. This is a Gentry post from Lightning Labs. Pretty crazy. The craziest thing out of here, I didn't even know this. So basically, Taproot asset statement is available in the most recent Polar release, a popular tool for rapid prototyping amongst application developers, and in LITD V0.
We call it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, check.
The bundle of Lightning Labs tools. Anyway, that wasn't the most interesting thing. I think the most interesting thing out of all this was here at the bottom. It's like right here on last week's community call, a number of these developers showcased the applications they are developing with Taproot assets, and we are astounded by the progress that's been made. Jolt rewards, Nostr assets, Roly, DZ speed. I'd never heard of Nostr assets. And then I went and looked it up. It's just like, look at this. It's Did you hear about this?
I'd probably seen it. I know I'd heard of like Tiramisu wallet. I knew they were doing. I know DZ is really interested in assets on Bitcoin. DZ was experimenting with a lot with ordinals before.
Dude, you know what this reminds me of?
What?
DeFi.
I think that's what people are expecting. So right now, if you
just on Nostr though.
Yeah. I mean, not just on Nostr, it's on, Bitcoin with Nostr coordination.
But this has the same legs as it just looks very reminiscent. Like it looks exactly.
But the way it looks has nothing to do with the fact that it's on Nostr, because you could build it centralized, right?
I don't know. You could probably create a Uniswap on Nostr, I would imagine, using these Nostr assets. That shouldn't be too hard, I would imagine. I don't know. I'm not a coder, but anyway, I thought this was fascinating. I was just completely like, wow, where has this been going on? Not on my radar at all, but
interesting. Yeah,
I mean, have you heard? I haven't seen it on Stacker News.
Yeah, we've been talking about it.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah. Because this has really been Lightning Labs' focus.
But the Nostr assets part of it, or the Taproot assets?
Not Nostr assets.
Yeah, I mean the Nostr assets. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Anyway, get your Nostr coin. Get your Damas coin. Get them.
Thomas coin? You think he would really do that?
No, but I know there was like a scam on that was like when
I remember
Nostr was first taken off. It's grown quite a bit.
Anyway,
yeah,
I'm expecting the biggest bull run we've ever seen in our entire lives. Honestly, if you throw all this stuff in there, plus the DeFi, plus the Bitcoin, plus the ETF, like it's going to be nuts, Keyan. absolutely bonkers.
I'm not. I mean, I don't know. It's easy to say that today with the price rising, but I don't know. I think this is really exciting. Just to explain a little bit of what this blog post is, the release it's kind of describing is these assets are now this is on chain. So these Taproot assets are eventually planned to be usable on Lightning or transferable on Lightning, but that's not the case yet. But this is like the first step. They had this in beta. The Taproot assets were on beta on chain for, I don't know, probably feels like 6 months. And now they're finally greenlighting it for mainnet usage. So you're going to see people, actually minting Taproot assets that, the plan will be to eventually transfer those on the Lightning network. And, talking to several people in the community and people at Lightning Labs, they're mostly excited about
the stablecoin stuff.
Stablecoins, getting companies like Tether that are staffed with Bitcoiners,
using Tron and stuff.
Yeah, that are using Tron and Ethereum, but finally giving them a way to use Bitcoin, to give their customers a way to use Bitcoin instead, and more cheaply and more quickly. And
I think Bird Eye, he has a comment here at the top. He says, awesome, an inevitable step in hyper Bitcoinization. Got KR, awesome news. Excited to see what gets built. Koob says SN. No, somebody said, we are Satoshi, said Koob SN equity. I don't know what you meant by that.
We Are All Satoshi has been contributing to the open source project, and he wants me to mint Stacker News equity into a Taproot asset.
Oh my God. Just let me hire you, you said. John Hoddle, what is the purpose of assets on Taproot? Generally curious. It's interesting. Just bring it up to the stackers. Stackers at home. Get ready.
Get ready for Taproot assets.
And Nostr assets, it looks like. My next story I wanted to bring up was FinCEN. Wants to laughably outlaw certain on-chain Bitcoin transactions. This was David W. post, but Keyan.
I didn't read this today. Did you?
Apparently, this is just the headline here from the U.S. Treasury Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, who, they're out there. They say FinCEN proposes new regulation to enhance transparency in convertible virtual currency mixing and combat terrorist financing. This is from Washington. Today, the U.S. Department of Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network announced a notice of proposed rulemaking that identifies international convertible virtual currency mixing as a class of transactions of primary money laundering concern. They highlight the risk posed by the extensive use of CVC, it's what they're calling mixing services, by a variety of illicit actors throughout the world, and propose a rule to increase transparency around CVC mixing to combat its use by malicious actors, including Hamas. And then they go on to name all these other places. The key part of Treasury's efforts to promote transparency for CVC mixing activities. I think the stackers, when I look at the comments, I think the stackers just like hit it out of the park on this one. Like I said the same thing. I was like, this seems all too coincidental and convenient. You got David W. He chimed in. He goes, it does. At the moment, they're referring to mixing, but it's easy to interpret their words as an on-chain address. And then he said that's Bitcoin, basically. Then you got Bitcoin Biohacker. He said, this is precisely how exchanges send funds to users. They hop through one-time use addresses. And then David W. said, this is why it's laughable. Only possible way to avoid this is use ETFs, but avoid custody.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people.
It's a proposal. It's not in law yet, but they're trying to get a ruling on it. So
yeah, a lot of people had been, expecting this. That's why a lot of people are recommending actually using a lot of these privacy services so that you can continue to use Bitcoin and not be subject to laws like this. And then, around the situation that's unfolding in the Middle East, like when that began, I remember seeing on Stacker News, people warning that this is going to be used for additional regulation around Bitcoin to prevent terrorists from, transacting. They're going to crack down on Bitcoin and use it as an opportunity to crack down on Bitcoin. And lo and behold, it kind of happens. I haven't read through it exactly, but David W. does do a quote up there about how generic.
Yeah, that's the scary part is when they leave this stuff generic for lawyers to interpret. It's usually to come in later and really put their teeth into really put their teeth into how to go after individual developers and people that are using these services. That's the problem. There is just the language. It's so, it's just wide open for anybody to come in there. Then David W. also posted the full document of interest is here. The title of the post is perhaps a little disingenuous. As for now, they're asking for reporting of each single transaction under these definitions. So shout out to David for posting that. I mean, he goes in a little bit further. It's scary, man. Surveillance. It's upstream.
Yeah, it is. It is scary, but it's getting easier and easier to move out of the United States. So take note, bureaucrats. We're gonna leave. Pleb Lab's global, dude. We're gonna put Pleb Lab on a blimp. We're gonna contact that.
Be an air balloon.
We're gonna contact that guy in the comments on the Starlink thing, and we're gonna get one of his balloons. And Pleb Lab's
they're just gonna shoot us down
island.
at that point. And the bear have parachutes.
Oh no, we'll have like AI sentry drones and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, we pay them with Bitcoin. They're actually like autonomous corporations that we pay with Bitcoin.
Jeez.
Yeah, we got this.
Cool. We're going to go into, that's all the posts for the week, Stackers. So we're going to go into the top stackers of the week.
Who do we got this week?
Stop. Where is it? Why do I always feel it's on that?
It's on. You have to go to home. You're in Bitcoin.
I always do that.
Oh, you could have just gone right there.
Okay, so home. And then I go to top. That's weird. I say that every time. I feel like I say that every time on the pod.
Yeah, it's confusing. We have like too many drop downs.
Okay, cool. Top stacker of the week is Siggy.
Siggy killing it always. Siggy posted one top post. He's been commenting a lot.
Did you see that over the week? I saw it somewhere. Somebody was like, "Who's going to have the first Bitcoin on Stacker News?" And I was like, "Siggy." And then he's like, "Nope, not going to be me." He said somebody else.
It might be him.
I think it's going to be him.
It could very well be. I think he makes most of his sats from zapping, like the rewards from zapping. That's how he gets.
Look, he only has one referral. Is that just week or is that all time?
That's for the week.
Oh, so this is all just for the week.
This is all just 163 comments, 4 posts.
Wow, how much is he stacked total?
You see where his stacking
2 million? Wow.
It's getting there, guys. Any day now.
It's inevitable.
Any day.
Wait, when was his first Stacker News post?
It was actually pretty early.
It was pretty recently. So that's a little over a year and a half.
Well, what was that? That was 30,000 items. That's like 6 months in. Siggy joined Stacker News. That's very early.
It's pretty bullish.
Get below six digits in your first post means you're basically an OG.
Got Elvis Mercury on here.
Elvis Mercury for the book club. The Wild Hustle stacking a lot. That's
David
awesome.
W.
David W. Undisciplined.
Look at Zekias.
Bird Eye, Ezekias. Where am I? I'm not even on the list anymore. I don't exist.
Blockchain Boog
anymore.
I love me some Blockchain Boog.
Blockchain Boog.
Heart in the Paint. Blockchain Boog now. Heart in the Paint. Look now, dude. Have you seen that? I haven't talked to that in a long time.
I haven't seen. He's been. We've been chatting.
Oh, cool.
DMing, but I haven't actually seen his physical body.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get into the most boring segment in Bitcoin, the worst segment in Bitcoin. This is the worst segment in Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Keyan, take it away.
This is one way this is the greatest segment of Bitcoin is it has so many haters like Car. Actually, Peter Todd actually also hates.
Told you.
Hates
great,
the cowboy
great minds
hats.
think alike.
Wow. You mentioned just car on Satoshi's round table with Peter Todd.
I'm kidding. Okay, I'm nowhere on his level at all.
Like, Peter Todd, do you think we should go to Mars?
I love Peter Todd. I saw him at TabConf. I've seen him around places. I love Peter Todd.
Yeah. It looks like Top Cowboy Siggy still rocking it. I'm in the third spot now, which I'm excited about. Car's nowhere on this list. He'll never be on this list.
I have a cowboy hat right now. You just can't see it. It's like he's tipping. See right there. You can see it.
Yeah, it's there, but you're not in this. You're not in this list because it's too. You only had it for like a day, probably.
I'd much rather have a. I told you. Say it every time.
You want a Bitcoin car. You want an Oregon Trail store.
Oregon Trail store. Look at Ben the Carman. Look at him. Going strong.
Rise in the ranks. Not going to lose it.
Yeah. I've seen Ben wear a cowboy hat in real life.
Have you really?
Yeah, dude. He looks sharp. With a cowboy hat?
I could imagine that.
Dude, Ben Carmen can go cowboy. Full cowboy.
Oh yeah, I can imagine with like a piece of wheat, like chewing on a piece of wheat in his mouth, like a bit, and with a tucked in, button down plaid shirt, just like leaning on the back of his truck.
Ben's been working out, bro. He's been working out.
Yeah, he's a formidable man,
charming man. Cool.
Also carries around a chessboard in his backpack everywhere.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah,
Doxed.
Yeah. Which
we got
a heavy thing to carry around.
We got top comments of the week. Blockchain Book says, you guys are hilarious. And then he also said, Coob, a little foreplay for new SN features. What does that mean?
I don't know, but I'd like to find out.
Cool. That's all we got. Keyan, what are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing this week? I'm going to finally ship personalized feeds.
Wait, what? What are you going to ship?
Personalized feeds. So I talked about that a few weeks or last week. I think I've been working on that for like the last 2 weeks. So that'll get shipped. What does that mean? What does that mean? Will I see something different than somebody else? You'll see something slightly different. So just slightly.
It'll cater to
your zapping.
So I'll see like all the FinCEN stuff and the Taproot assets.
Yes. You should see that more prominently displayed in your feed. Yeah. It'll be very marginal at first, but the main thing this unlocks is user generated subs. So this is like kind of like a necessary step to get to user generated subs the way I want them to be.
Where does that come in before the end of the year?
I'm hoping so. I plan to do it by the end of October, but I got
it's too fast.
It's not that fast. It was mostly we just got a bunch of outside contributions. So I began spending a lot of time on that, which took up like half my time. So my estimates were off, but I'm hoping I can get it done. Maybe it shouldn't take that long. Actually, it should. I'm hoping I can get it done in a week or two. So
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? What are you doing?
This weekend, I think I'm just finally going to have a weekend off. I haven't had a weekend off in a really long time. So I'm looking forward to taking tomorrow off and Sunday off and getting back to it on Monday. It's going to be a busy October, November leading into Thanksgiving for me, but I'm, just want to get some rest.
What do you do on your days off?
Tomorrow, I just need to just do like domestic stuff, like run errands, stuff like that, clean the house, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds,
it's really boring.
Yeah.
But I usually put on a record and just listen to some good music.
When you've been grinding at work though, that stuff can be actually relaxing.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Right.
I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. Cool. Stackers, you have yourself a great week. Keyan, you have yourself a great weekend. See you next time.
Zap.